Have you ever met someone who just seems uh, impossibly perfect? You know the type, right?
Oh, definitely.
Their life, their career, relationships, everything just looks effortless.
Mm.
So managed, so meticulously put together.
Yeah.
They just radiate transparency in like every single interaction, almost like they have absolutely nothing to hide.
Who's shadows?
Exactly. No trace of past mistakes, no whispers of bad behavior. And their online presence, it's like a masterclass.
Who's
Flawless.
perfectly curated.
Totally. Same phone number for years, constant email, social media accounts, just incredibly consistent. Always positive comments from, a tight circle of friends.
Right, that curated echo chamber.
Yeah. And Instagram, it's like a gallery, perfect photos, timed, organized. Every post seems deliberate. Nothing spontaneous or, God forbid, slightly messy.
No rough edges visible.
None. Even their just a few normal, widely used apps. Nothing weird or excessive. It's like they've trimmed away every single imperfection, leaving only what's, well, perfectly respectable, approachable.
Almost too perfect.
Exactly. It makes you think, how do they do that? And more importantly, can I actually trust someone like that implicitly?
And that's a really fascinating question because, look, while people like that can be genuinely good, and often our deep dive today is looking at something, well, more unsettling.
Okay.
We're going to explore how those exact same traits, the ones that seem so harmless, so appealing, can sometimes be the foundation for a really subtle but incredibly impactful form of manipulation.
So not the obvious stuff.
No, exactly. This isn't about overt coercion or bullying. It operates pretty much beneath the radar of conscious awareness. It's insidious, almost invisible, really.
Make an art form?
Precisely. We're talking about the art of covert manipulation. And to help us unpack this, we're drawing heavily on this really insightful piece. It's called The Art of Covert Manipulation by Mehdi Hasan.
Okay.
And it lays out this chillingly precise blueprint for how this kind of thing can unfold in the real world. It really breaks down the steps, the meticulous creation of that perfect facade.
Got it. So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear then. We want to pull out the key insights from Hasan's work.
Right.
We want to equip you, the listener, with a better understanding of the subtle signs, the psychological games being played, and the systematic ways these manipulators might operate.
It's about awareness.
Definitely. And the goal here is absolutely not to make you paranoid. We don't want you looking suspiciously at every organized person you meet.
No, that's crucial.
It's really about knowledge, giving you a kind of toolkit for discernment so you can navigate your relationships, personal, professional, whatever, and, protect yourself from influence you didn't sign up for.
Understanding the dynamics empowers you.
Exactly. Being able to tell the difference between genuine connection and something engineered. It's about knowledge, not fear. Okay, so let's start right there, at the beginning. That initial image Hasan describes. What is it exactly that makes them seem so trustworthy, so appealing right off the bat? What are those first qualities that just kind of draw you in?
Well, Hasan points out they often seem harmless, ordinary even. He uses the term ultra-ordinary.
Ultra-ordinary, like deliberately bland.
Kind of. Like they blend in, but also stand out because they lack any obvious flaws. It's a careful balancing act.
Okay, so what are the specifics? How do they build that?
First off, there's this projected transparency in all their dealings. Every transaction, every conversation, it all seems completely open. Above board.
No secrets.
Right. If it's business, all the paperwork is there, perfectly organized.
For him.
If it's their past, they seem like an open book. It's not just honesty. It's projecting an image of total openness.
Makes you feel like you have full access.
Exactly. It preempts suspicion.
I know what else?
Then there's the clean record. It's incredibly hard to find anyone with a bad word to say about them, any past conflict, even a minor complaint.
Like they've scrubbed their history clean.
Or they've just been incredibly skilled at avoiding any trouble or managing perceptions around it. It creates this powerful sense of integrity, almost untouchable. It sends a message. I am beyond reproach.
Okay, transparency, clean record. What else?
Consistency. And this seems mundane, but it's a cornerstone. Using the same phone number for, say, 5 to 7 years.
Oh, interesting.
Same email, same social media profile, same bank accounts for everything. It's not just habit. It projects stability, reliability.
Right. Makes them seem predictable, verifiable.
Exactly. It gives you this subtle feeling that you could check up on them easily if you wanted to, which paradoxically makes you less likely to feel the need to. Fosters a false sense of security.
And the online stuff you mentioned earlier, the curated feeds.
Yeah, that's huge too. Their digital footprint is tightly controlled. On Facebook, maybe limited friends, but they're all active, always positive comments, like a perfect little supportive bubble.
An echo chamber.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Instagram photos, meticulously organized, dated, no random snapshots, no extra posts. Everything feels purposeful, vetted for maximum positive impact.
It lacks that human messiness.
Completely. Which, again, subconsciously disarms you. It suggests there's nothing hidden because everything shown is so perfect. And even their tech habits, minimalist, just the common apps, nothing unusual.
Wow. So is a whole package designed to look transparent, respectable, reliable, ordinary even?
Designed to quell any flicker of suspicion right from the start. And what's really fascinating here, as Hassan stresses, is that this isn't just someone who happens to be neat or transparent.
Right. You said it's deliberate.
It's absolutely deliberate, meticulously cultivated. This extreme level of apparent openness and consistency, it's engineered specifically to disarm potential targets.
How so?
It builds this incredibly strong foundation of implicit trust, predictability. They seem utterly reliable, almost to a fault. Think of it like a psychological shield against your natural caution.
Okay, I get that.
The implication, Hassan points out, is that this whole facade makes you feel like you can get all information about that person in a moment.
Like you've done your due diligence just by looking.
Exactly. And it fosters this profound but totally false sense of security. You think you've checked them out and found nothing wrong, but really you've just been shown a perfectly constructed narrative.
So it's not just about being tidy.
No, it's about projecting an absence of anything hidden, anything problematic, anything that might, ring your internal alarm bell.
That image of faultless integrity.
It becomes the gateway. Once your defenses are lowered, once you've granted that implicit trust, you become far more receptive to whatever comes next. That flawless surface is like psychological lubricant.
Okay, wow. So they've built this incredible front. Trustworthy, reliable, perfectly adjusted, seems almost impenetrable. But how do they shift from just being admired to actually, gaining influence, getting emotional control? That seems like the next big step.
That's where the real artistry, as Hassan calls it, begins. The delicate dance of building influence, step by subtle step.
Through their interactions.
Exactly. Their interpersonal behavior is just as meticulously crafted as their public image. It's designed to deepen that trust, deepen that admiration, and pull you closer, almost without you noticing.
Like how? Give me some examples from the source.
Okay, consider their punctuality. Seems small, right?
Yeah, just good manners.
But they never break promises. They stick rigidly to times. 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. sharp. No delays, no excuses. This systematically reinforces their reliability. It builds micro-trust with every single interaction. You start to depend on that.
Yeah.
And when you meet them, they're always neat, tidy, but also, crucially, ordinary. Not flashy. They project this unassuming reliability that feels safe, grounded.
No big displays.
Right. And their word choice, incredibly careful. They never, ever speak to hurt anyone. This makes them seem deeply empathetic, considerate, a comforting presence.
A safe harbor, you called it.
Exactly.
Okay, punctuality, careful words. What else?
Perhaps one of the most powerful tools, being an exceptional listener.
Ah, yes. Everyone loves a good listener.
But this is next level. Hassan notes they can listen to your saddest stories for hours, even late at night, staying calm, attentive, seemingly absorbing everything without judgment.
Wow, that would feel amazing.
It makes you feel incredibly seen, validated, understood, which is a rare feeling for many people.
Definitely.
And as you share more, learn more about them, you get more impressed, you start noticing these almost uncanny similarities between their life story and yours.
Oh, the Me Too factor.
Exactly. It creates this powerful sense of shared experience, like destiny brought you together. They subtly mirror your struggles, making you believe they truly get you.
Okay, and then the compliments, you mentioned that earlier.
Yes, flattery and validation, but it's not generic. It's specific, observant. It shows they've been paying close attention to you.
Right.
Things like, wow, the world really needs more people like you. Or very specific things. That color kajal really suits your eyes. It brings out their depth. Or that shirt's perfect with your skin tone.
Ah, so it feels really personal.
Deeply personal, tailored. It makes you feel valued, unique, seen. They're not just listening, they're observing, keeping track of your likes, dislikes, preferences.
Like they're building a profile.
In a way, yes.
And this leans to what Hassan calls calculated generosity.
Right. So imagine it's your birthday. Suddenly, they gift you that specific dress you mentioned liking months ago.
Wow, they remembered.
Exactly. And then right after you open it, they say almost innocently, hey, will you wear that dress and go somewhere with me tomorrow? I know just the place you'd love.
Hard to say no then.
Incredibly difficult. Because of the goodwill, the personal gift, that feeling of being so uniquely understood, you feel this subtle obligation mixed with the desire to please them.
It's not just a gift, it's a hook.
It's a strategic sequence. Compliments, listening, shared stories, targeted gifts leading to these small requests. It makes you feel profoundly valued and connected, but it subtly shifts the power dynamic in their favor.
That's exactly right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the strategy behind these seemingly kind acts becomes crystal clear. What's the overarching goal then?
The goal is to make you, the target, feel profoundly understood, uniquely validated, special, chosen almost.
Okay.
This isn't just about making friends, it's about engineering this intense, almost irresistible desire in you to either emulate them or connect deeply with them.
So you start wanting to be like them.
Yes. Hassan explicitly notes, you might gradually develop a strong desire to be like him. Or you find yourself thinking, wow, I wish I had a friend like that. Or even, this is the partner I've been searching for my whole life. And that's the genius, the subtlety of it. That's how someone can weave themselves so deeply into your life.
Moving from maybe chance meetings
to frequent, almost indispensable interactions. Their narrative, the story they tell about themselves and the way they listen to yours, it implicitly supports your struggles, validates your feelings, makes them feel like the perfect kindred spirit.
Like they just get you on this fundamental level.
Exactly. It creates this powerful magnetic pull.
Yeah.
But it's not based on genuine organic connection built over time. It's based on careful construction, validation, and fulfilling perceived emotional needs.
Engineering connection, like you said.
Precisely. It's about creating an emotional dependency for a specific, often hidden purpose, gaining influence and ultimately control. Your emotional landscape gets subtly reshaped until their presence feels essential.
Wow. Okay, and this is where it gets really kind of scary, right? Where the art part comes in. The influence shifts from just admiration to an actual loss of self.
That's the transition. Once that deep connection, that admiration, that emotional dependency is cemented, the process subtly pushes the target to unconsciously adopt the manipulator's traits.
Leading to losing your own identity.
A gradual, almost imperceptible erosion of who you are, a dissolution of your unique self.
How does that actually happen? Hassan gives examples, right?
He does, and they're chilling because they seem so mundane. For instance, if the manipulator tends to walk slowly, you might find yourself unconsciously slowing your pace to match theirs, without even thinking about it. Or, if they speak softly, you might start speaking more softly too. Adjusting your tone to align with theirs. You literally start mirroring their behavior, their mannerisms, their gestures.
Like becoming a reflection.
Exactly. Hassan explicitly calls this mirroring. He says the manipulator becomes an aina, a mirror, and you become their reflection. Your own personality doesn't develop, it gets subsumed, overwritten almost.
Okay, mirroring behavior, but you said it goes deeper. Something about style.
Yes, what the source calls style-hijacking, or, perhaps more accurately, taste implantation via grooming signature.
Taste implantation via grooming signature sounds clinical.
It does, but the concept is simple and deeply impactful. Remember those specific compliments?
Yeah.
About the kajal, the share?
The ones that felt so personal.
They weren't just kind gestures, they were strategic nudges, planting their preferences into your choices until their taste starts feeling like your own.
So you start liking things because they like them on you or like them in general?
Precisely. Hassan gives an example. You might find yourself frequently going back to that specific restaurant you first visited with them, the one they loved, even if it wasn't really your top choice initially.
I can see that happening.
Or you start gravitating towards a certain type of music or a specific author, or even dressing in a style they subtly approved of. And you start to believe you always liked these things.
Because they introduced you and validated it.
Exactly. Your preferences aren't truly your own anymore. They've been subtly curated, implanted by the manipulator. It's an insidious way to control your personal choices. And this raises a really fundamental question.
Which is?
How does someone's unique personality get eroded so subtly, so systematically? Hassan introduces two key psychological terms here that are crucial: identity diffusion and enmeshment.
Okay, break those down for us. Identity diffusion first.
As Hassan defines it, it's a lack of a clear idea of who I am, what my values are, unstable, incomplete self-identity.
So, losing your sense of self.
Pretty much. Imagine your internal compass just stops working. You used to know what you stood for, your passions, what made you you. Now it's like that map is blank. You feel adrift, unsure of your values, your direction.
That sounds terrifying.
It leaves you incredibly vulnerable, like an empty vessel waiting for someone else to fill that void, to provide that missing direction, ready to be filled by their agenda.
Okay, that's identity diffusion. What about enmeshment?
Enmeshment takes it a step further.
Yeah.
Hassan defines it as an inability to think of oneself as separate from another, mentally fused together.
Fused. Like you can't tell where one person ends and the other begins.
Exactly. Think of two streams merging into one river. You lose the ability to distinguish your thoughts from theirs. Their opinions become your beliefs. Their desires become your goals. Their fears, your anxieties. You become psychologically fused. It makes it incredibly hard to step back, to critique, or even to realize your autonomy has been absorbed. Your boundaries just dissolve. You effectively become an extension of them. And the overall impact, it's profound. Hassan emphasizes that at this point, you are already greatly influenced. You genuinely want to be like him.
Not just admire, but actually be like them.
Yes. This seeps into everything. You start dressing based on their advice, not just because you like the clothes, but because you've internalized the idea that they are ultra-perfect.
So evaluating their taste means evaluating yourself?
Exactly. You believe evaluating their preference means evaluating oneself. You start trying to pull this perfection into yourself, striving to be almost exactly like them, and even chillingly, wanting to surpass them, but not in your own way, in becoming a better version of their persona.
So you become their project, built in their image.
It's an unconscious drive to replicate them, fundamentally altering your self-perception and eroding your autonomy.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. All this psychological groundwork, how does it translate into something tangible? Like, say, financial manipulation. Hassan has a model for this too, right?
He does, and it's remarkably clear how that carefully built trust and identity erosion pave the way for financial exploitation. The target essentially becomes an unwitting partner doing all the work.
How does that typically start?
It often begins with the manipulator sharing a startup idea, something compelling, innovative, maybe life-changing, presented with that same flawless articulation we talked about.
Painting a picture of success.
A vivid picture. Shared success, shared glory.
But then
comes the narrative of inability. They explain, very convincingly, why they can't possibly do it alone. Lack of time, maybe the specific skill gap, framed as a vulnerability.
drawing you in further.
Exactly. And then the hook. They show that with the partner specifically, they can make it happen. You're positioned as the missing piece, the essential ingredient.
Sure.
Indispensable.
Making you feel crucial to the vision.
Absolutely.
And because they seem so perfect and trustworthy.
Right? Remembering that whole facade, the transparency, the clean record, the consistency.
You just believe them.
You believe the idea will work and, crucially, that you'll profit significantly from it. You're drawn in by the promise, fueled by your belief in their flawless character. Their vision becomes your perceived path to prosperity.
But the real problem isn't the idea itself necessarily.
Not always. Hassan points out the truly insidious issue is that you, the target, come to believe the manipulator's idea is actually your idea, or at least a shared vision you co-created with equal passion.
Ah, so you feel real ownership.
Total ownership.
Yeah.
And as a result, as the source bluntly puts it, you work on it like a donkey, pouring in your time, energy, intellect, emotions, often your own money,
Into building their dream.
while completely mistaking it for your own. It's brilliant in a terrifying way. You feel motivated, purposeful, but the blueprint and the ultimate benefit belong to them. You're doing the heavy lifting, unaware you're just an instrument for their ambition. Your agency has been completely subtly transferred. This is exactly where the extract phase of the Cage model really kicks in. We'll break down Cage in a second, but those earlier stages, building trust, admiration, identity diffusion, they aren't just fluff.
They're essential groundwork.
Absolutely critical prerequisites for this financial trap. The target is already psychologically primed, emotionally indebted, their identity blurred with the manipulators. They're predisposed to accept the manipulator's ideas as their own.
Your internal compass is pointing their way.
Precisely. So it's not just about money. It's a profound transfer of agency, effort, identity, your time, energy, intellect, network, finances, all subtly redirected to serve the manipulator's goals.
Under the guise of a shared dream.
Exactly. You're so enmeshed, you've mirrored their vision so thoroughly, diffused your identity so much, that you stop questioning whose dream you're actually building. It feels mutual, but it's a systematic harvesting of your potential while you think you're planting your own garden.
Okay, so let's get into that model Hassan provides. The 5 layers that show how this whole process unfolds, especially with the financial angle, you call it the cage model.
That's right. These 5 stages illustrate the systematic progression from planting the seed to the final extraction. It's a step-by-step blueprint.
All right, let's break them down. Layer 1.
Layer 1 is vision seeding. This is the initial plant. The manipulator comes to you all excitement. I have this incredible startup idea, but gosh, I just can't do it alone.
Making themselves sound a bit vulnerable, needing help.
Right. And you, the target, already captivated by their perfect persona, immediately think, wow, coming from them, this idea must be genius. It's got to work. Instant buy-in based on character, not necessarily critical analysis.
Okay, vision seeding. What's next? Layer 2.
Layer 2, shared dream framing. This is where the seed takes root in your mind. The manipulator says something like, look, if you become my partner, if we tackle this together, we can make it huge. This isn't just my dream, it's our dream.
Shifting ownership.
Exactly. The idea might be theirs, but the emotional commitment, the feeling of ownership that becomes yours, you internalize it, you feel like you co-created it, intrinsic motivation kicks in.
Okay, makes sense. Layer 3.
Micro-investment hook. This is usually where the money comes in, but subtly. Hey, for this first small phase, just to get things rolling, we need a tiny budget. If you believe in this like I do, maybe chip in a little.
Not a big ask initially.
No, deliberately small. It creates sunk cost. You put in a little, then maybe a bit more for the next step. Soon, you're financially invested. Each investment makes it psychologically harder to back out. You're already in too deep.
Right, you don't want to lose what you've put in. Layer 4.
Layer 4 is identity collateral. This one's chilling. By now, the manipulator can say, almost with validation, look how far we've come. You've really become like me. Our path is one now.
Oh, wow.
Because of all the mirroring and enmeshment, you're so intertwined with their identity and goals. The thought of quitting feels like betraying yourself. Failure isn't just failure of the project, it's your personal failure. Your ego is completely tied up in their success.
No turning back. And the final layer, layer 5.
Layer 5, gaslighting buffer. The defense mechanism. If, despite everything, you express even a flicker of doubt, are we sure about this? Is this really working? They don't address the concern.
What do they do?
They flip it. Don't you trust me? After everything, after all I've done for you. It's classic reverse guilt.
Making you feel bad for doubting.
Exactly. Your valid concern becomes an attack on their integrity, their perfection. You feel guilty. You suppress your doubt. You silence that inner alarm bell to avoid feeling like the bad guy. Critical thought. Shut down. So when you put those 5 layers together, you see this incredibly effective systematic progression. Each layer builds on the last, tangling the target deeper and deeper. Getting out feels impossible, or like betraying your very self.
And that's the cage model.
That's the cage model. The acronym itself, CAGE, stands for capture, align, guide, extract.
Okay, walk me through those 4. Capture.
Capture is that initial stage, hooking you with the perfect facade, the vision seeding, getting you to drop your guard, believe in their genius. It's the bait.
Align.
Align is getting you to internalize their dream as your own. Shared dream framing. Your identity, purpose, goals become aligned to theirs. You're not just following. You're a true believer, moving in lockstep.
Guide.
Guide is directing your actions and investments, the micro-investment hook, leveraging identity collateral. They pull the strings, subtly guiding your efforts, your resources, while making you feel like you're in control, making decisions for your shared success.
And extract.
Extract is the end game. Leveraging all your efforts, resources, financial, intellectual, emotional, and that diffused sense of self for their benefit. They reap the rewards, often leaving you depleted and confused, while the gaslighting buffer ensures you don't question it too much.
Wow. That is a really clear and disturbing blueprint.
It is. Yeah. And for you, the listener, understanding this isn't just theory, it's a tool for self-preservation.
Recognizing the stages.
Exactly. Recognizing these patterns, the progression from charm to entanglement, can be a powerful shield. It gives you the framework to analyze dynamics that feel off and protect your autonomy before you get caught in the cage.
Which brings us to a really crucial final point from Hassan's work, a word of caution, right?
Absolutely. It cannot be stressed enough. This knowledge we've explored, it's powerful. It helps you see these insidious patterns.
Yeah.
But it's a double-edged sword. Understanding dark psychology, these manipulative techniques, it can free you, but it also shows you how the deception works.
Meaning you could misuse it or just become overly suspicious?
Exactly. It's easy to start seeing manipulators behind every corner once you learn this stuff, to become cynical about kindness or competence. But Hassan provides a vital counterpoint, and this nuanced perspective is critical. He explicitly warns that while studying this can free you, it also necessarily teaches you the tactics, which highlights the moral responsibility involved.
Right.
But crucially, Hassan reminds us, genuine good intentions do exist. He states it plainly. Here, someone can truly be a good friend or a lover partner.
So not everyone who seems perfect is manipulating you.
Not at all. Not every organized person, not every compliment is a tactic. He specifically says, kajal might genuinely suit your eyes. That shirt might genuinely look good on you.
Simple kindness exists.
Yes. These counterpoints are vital to stop us from falling into paranoia, from scrutinizing every positive interaction for hidden motives.
So don't jump to conclusions.
Precisely. The source urges us not to say with certainty that such a person is always so dangerous. Resist hasty judgment. It's about discerning patterns over time, not labeling individuals instantly. And most importantly, he reminds us, some people truly love you.
So the goal isn't cynicism.
No. The goal of this deep dive isn't to breed mistrust or make you recoil from connection. It's to foster critical awareness, discernment.
Empowering you to see patterns that could be problematic.
Exactly. To question dynamics that feel off, protect your boundaries, but without dismissing the possibility of authentic, healthy connection. Which, raises that really important, very human question.
How do you balance it?
Yeah. How do we balance this necessary vigilance, this awareness of subtle influence, with still being able to maintain open, trusting, genuine relationships?
That's definitely a profound thought to carry forward. Not about fear, but mindful awareness. So just to recap, we journeyed from understanding that deceptive, perfect facade, how they build trust through subtle seduction, the chilling psychological hooks like mirroring, identity diffusion, enmeshment leading to that loss of self, and how that groundwork enables things like the systematic financial trap where your work becomes their gain.
The extraction.
And finally, we broke down that really powerful cage model. Capture, align, guide, extract, giving you a pretty comprehensive map of these complex, often hidden dynamics.
Indeed. And perhaps a final thought to leave you with. Given how subtle this all is, how genuine connection and insidious influence can sometimes look similar on the surface.
Yeah.
How can you, personally, cultivate a stronger sense of self, a more robust internal compass?
Yeah.
Sharper critical thinking skills?
Yeah.
How do you ensure that your dreams, your efforts, your very identity truly remain your own, independent of someone else's design or agenda? Something worth reflecting on, wouldn't you say, in all our interactions?
Absolutely. A crucial reflection. We really encourage you to think about your own experiences, your observations, using this lens, but with wisdom and compassion, remembering Hassan's caution. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the art of covert manipulation. We hope these insights are valuable as you navigate your world.